Hello there, my name is Lee Adams and I want to welcome you to this presentation on presentation structure. Before we start, I want to ask you a question. How many presentations do you think happen every day around the world? According to some research, there are at least 30 million presentations given every day around the globe. But the big problem is that in most of these presentations, the audience falls asleep or, in extreme cases, even dies. So, to stop this from happening in your presentations, today I want to talk to you about an important part of presentations, their structure. I've divided my talk into three main sections. First, I want to bring up the reasons why you need a good structure. Then, I will outline the main reason why, as a teacher, your presentations need good structure. And finally, I will be showing you a very simple but effective presentation structure. So, let's start by looking at what is structure good for. To the audience, a presentation can be a lot like a maze, which is easy for them to get lost in. But with a clear structure, the audience can follow you easily and find their way through the maze and make it to the end of your presentation without falling asleep. Okay, so to move on to my second point, why, as teachers, should you have a presentation structure? Students only have a limited amount of mental resources. If you're trying to teach them something, you don't want them to waste these mental resources on just trying to follow what you're saying and where they are in the presentation. You want them to focus on the content you are presenting so they can use their whole mind for learning. Finally, let's take a look at a simple structure that every presentation should have. This structure is in three sections, and it was most famously explained by Winston Churchill as the three tell'ems. Tell 'em, tell 'em, tell 'em. Which means, tell them what you're going to tell them your main message, and tell them what you just told them. Or in other words, the first tell'em is the introduction to your presentation, where you let the audience know what you will be talking about. The second tell'em is the main section of your presentation. And the third tell'em is where you summarize your talk for the audience before finishing up. So this is the most simple format for a presentation. There is a better structure that I will leave aside for now. In the next lesson, we will have a look at this more complicated presentation format, and this image gives you an idea of what this structure is like. And if you use this new structure, you will be well on your way to presentation success. So, to sum up, I told you that structure is good for stopping your audience from getting lost in the maze of your presentation. Then I talked about why, as teachers, a good structure can help your students focus on the material you are trying to present. And finally, I showed you a very simple structure for a presentation, the three tell'ems. Thank you very much for your attention. Goodbye.